Hello, I'm Kim Tizer. Today's March 20th, 2023. Here are your latest church militant headlines. A Catholic sex abuse watchdog group is highlighting the Pope's failures in addressing the abuse crisis. The group Bishop Accountability called on Pope Francis last week to release a list of bishops investigated for abuse under the Pontiff's own VOCATIONS rules, introduced in 2019. Bishop Accountability co-director Ann Barrett Doyle said the Pope has repeatedly said he wants transparency, yet he is leaving the faithful in the dark. Catholics in the pews not only need this information, they have a right to it. In related news, a New York diocese is filing for bankruptcy in the face of staggering clerical abuse claims. The Diocese of Albany announced last week it's filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Bishop Edward Scharfenberger explained this is to ensure abuse victims are adequately compensated.
We have separately resolved and settled more than 50 of the 400 plus cases. We don't have the resources to settle anymore.
In Austria, a bishop is speaking out in defense of priestly celibacy. Last week, Pope Francis indicated he may review celibacy requirements for priests. Salzburg's Archbishop Franz Lochner was quick to respond, arguing against abolishing celibacy, quote, purely for the sake of modernization. He said the celibate way of life of priests and bishops will remain a valuable asset in the future. Even late-night comedians find the idea of abolishing celibacy funny. Liberal Catholic comedian and host of The Late Show, Stephen Colbert, aired a skit last week poking fun at the idea of doing away with the tradition of priestly celibacy.
Have you sworn a life to celibacy, but now Pope Francis says it's okay to date? Introducing eHomily, the dating site where you can find a her for your him. It turns out 1,000 years of tradition was only a temporary prescription.
In Spain, the vocations crisis is worsening. The Spanish Bishops' Conference recently released new numbers showing the number of seminarians in Spain has dropped below 1,000 for the first time since records were kept. There are currently 974 Spanish seminarians studying for priesthood. This year also marks the smallest recorded number of incoming seminarians, dropping below 200 for the first time. And in Canada, hate crimes against Catholics more than tripled over a single year. According to a report from Christian think tank Cardus, hate crimes against Catholics in Canada jumped from 43 in 2020 to 155 in 2021. The report noted only a tiny fraction of Canadians commit hate crimes, yet it is reasonable to assume that those who are accused of religious hate crimes may be emboldened by a declining respect for or acceptance of religion and religious persons. I'm Kim Tizer. Those are your church militant headlines. Please watch the Vortex today, where Michael reflects on 10 years of the Pope Francis pontificate. God bless you.